Hello, everybody. This is Alex Big Blue, and welcome to All Number Ones, Episode 9. So, I've read a bunch of different books, all first issues, of course, and yeah, I'm going to show you guys what I got again and read it and review them. Pretty excited because I liked a lot of these books too, by the way. All right, starting off with John Byrne's Next Men, number 1, from Dark Horse Comics. I think it's maybe the first Dark Horse appearance of any of the books in All Number One so far, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'd heard some stuff about this before, and I believe it was all good things from what I remember. I don't even know where I heard about it. I just remember people talking about it. And finally checked it out, and I liked it. It's a pretty interesting start. And the story is very kind of fast moving and pretty intriguing in general. I think that the characters, what little bit I know about them so far, seems to be pretty interesting. Their powers are kind of like superheroes, like you'd expect, I guess. Like, seems like speed, maybe invulnerability for one of the guys. And yeah, just this is my first dip into this. I have a few more other issues randomly, I think. I may have issue 2. And if I do, I'll definitely be interested in reading that one very soon. I know I come across issue 5 that I got in a grab bag, I believe. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so yeah, I like this pretty thoroughly. It's a very interesting read and start to this. I don't know whether or not it had a 0 issue like some of the other things does. But if not, this is the start. And either way, I really like this so far. So I'm definitely interested in reading more. I also like the cover that it's like, where they're kind of coming out of it a little bit, the way it's made. I forget what you call it exactly. But yeah, very cool. I really like that one for sure. All right, next up, one you know I liked if you watch my channel very much, X-Men 92, number 1. So the X-Men team from the 90s cartoon series are back in comic form, and we got the first issue here. It is X-Men 92 Secret Wars, number 1, I should say. So yeah, very cool. I love the cover on this. Very awesome. Of course, like I said, I love that cartoon. Yeah, this one's pretty interesting. So the team comes across kind of a weird new sanctuary of types that this woman is saying they're rehabilitating evil mutants or bad mutants, ones that cause havoc and whatnot. And yeah, the X-Men are kind of sus of that, and they think that they should probably check it out. Some of them hopes it is true and kind of thinks it might be. Some of the others, like Charles and I think maybe Wolverine, are kind of, like more hesitant to believe something like that would be good. But nonetheless, they're going to go check it out. And we get all your favorite characters from the cartoon all as a team again, and they're all going to check it out. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I don't want to say much about what happens because it's really cool, and I think if you guys like that, you'd be interested in reading it anyways. It ends in a really crazy way, which I really want to get the second issue of this now because it was really a great setup for the next one. Also, you get a fun moment early on in this of all of them playing laser tag against each other, even even Wolverine, because they're doing it as a kind of training, kind of like their danger room because something had happened to it. So they're doing laser tag in order while they're waiting to replace that for a little bit. So that was pretty fun. But yeah, I really like this issue a lot. So definitely pick it up if you guys can get a chance. I got it for a reasonable price. I think a couple dollars. It wasn't actually 2, I don't think. I think it's a different bag and board. But anyways, I think I got it for like $3 or $4. So either way, it's really cool. I like that one a lot. Next up, we have a DC book here. DC Final Crisis Aftermath, number 1. Inc. So I didn't actually know anything about Inc. as a character. I forget if it's his name or not. I think it is. But either way, he seems like a pretty interesting character. Apparently, he was a villain before, and he's trying to reform himself and essentially clean up the streets where he's from. This kind of, I like this, by the way, and it's a pretty hardcore type of action and get some violence in there, all that kind of stuff. Pretty real to life in that way. Of course, the fantastical powers mixed in, but I was going to say, it kind of reminds me in a way of the Luke Cage show, if you guys saw that. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. But yeah, I like this for sure. Definitely dug this in my first read of anything to do with Inc. So yeah, very cool. Pretty fast read too, if I remember correctly. Next up, we have Mantra number 1 from Malibu Comics. Of course, it's a part of Ultraverse. I like Malibu Comics and Ultraverse stuff in general. And I have to say, this one is... I'd read 1 or 2 issues of this before randomly that wasn't the first one. And so now that I finally get the backstory and find out what's happening, it's very interesting and very different for sure. Very unique storyline on this, which I guess I won't give away because but the twist, if you know what it already is, of what happens kind of halfway through or towards the end, is very, very unexpected for me. So that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I enjoyed this one immensely. Very great read, and I'll definitely be down to read more of Mantra. All right, see what we have. All right, next up, we have another DC book, one that I'm sure Metarog would appreciate. DC Comics presents Metal Men #1 from 1993. Very cool holographic cover, by the way, if you guys could see that. But yeah, anyways, this is my first Metal Men comic that I've ever read, I think. And so far, I don't know if it's a good representation of them in general, but I would say I liked it, and it's pretty a lot different than a lot of the other teams in the fact that they are like, basically robot people or whatever based off elements. But yeah, it's very interesting to have. They kind of give me a little bit of like kind of old school Fantastic Four vibes, kind of like some of the characters they'd come across maybe in it or something like that. But yeah, I really like this. I thought it was pretty cool so far, and I'm definitely interested in it. And if I see the second issue of this, I'd probably pick it up at some point and give it a read. So far for the Metal Men, I'd say it's pretty interesting. I did enjoy it for sure. I'm Alex Blue. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys later.